Hey, welcome out to today's advisory report. It is June 22nd, 2026. It is Monday. Hope everyone had a wonderful 3-day weekend. We're happy to be back at managing money after the holiday and looking at our market regime. We have a favorable market condition. Intermediate trend remains bullish, and the short-term trend continues to be bullish after bouncing back and forth a little bit last week. Our positioning in our strategies is mostly offense. We did do some changes today in the ultra aggressive account, but the other strategies remain in their current posture to be offensive. Let's go ahead and jump on over to the charts and see what the market actually did today. Starting out with the intermediate trend and looking at price versus the 30-week moving average, we can see that we are in a continued uptrend. You're looking at data roughly from the end of 2022 till today, and that looks like a very good offensive market to be in. We typically will be offensively biased above this orange line, which is the 30-week moving average. We will at times play defense as price extends at abnormal levels higher than the 30-week. And also, if we see drastic short-term pullbacks, typically momentum favors momentum, meaning it usually continues in the same direction. So we get a little bit of head start on the defense or the offensive looking at short-term charts. So let's go ahead and look at some short-term charts and see how the market's doing on a day-by-day basis. Here, we're looking at this view. We're looking back at about May 2025 till now, so about 13 months. And you can see when the markets are going very good and strong, you'll see price really respect this 20-day moving average. In the short term, we will be bullish above that. And in the short term, we will be bearish below that 20-day moving average, which is this green line. Zoom in a little bit. As you can see, we are playing within that big volatile day. It's not even really a big volatile day, just a 1% plus day on the Fed meeting announcement. We're playing within that the last couple days. And this is a constructive setup as long as price remains above this day's low. Here's the 20-day kind of flattening out. Let's kind of see what happens if we're just sort of flagging out and gonna break back out to the upside. That's the action that we're looking for, but very, very, very good action. So let's go ahead and look at Market Lens. We'll check out some of the stocks in the ultra aggressive account or ultra aggressive strategy. Even though the market was down about 0.37% today, the ultra aggressive was actually up today, positive in the green, and the other strategies were pretty much in line with what their benchmarks are. So a little bit of negative on the other strategies, but overall not too bad. Let's go ahead and start out with MU. Just one of these stocks that is just so powerful, and you can see a gap up and a move up. MU was up 6.82% at the close today, and most people look at this and they would think that, how much higher can it go? The thing about trend following is that you stay in the trend until the trend says it's no longer a trend. And so primarily we are trend followers here at Peak Horizons Capital with some short-term tactical moves that we make, but MU is looking good. We took a position in Flex today as a nice consolidation right here, respecting that 20-day moving average and looking like it's breaking out to the upside. The group has been strong. This stock has been strong. And let's see if this one's ready for its next leg higher. Skip these two. These are the SP500s. MRVL down a little bit today. We did take a little bit of profit off the table from our beginning entry in MRVL, but still looking very, very good and looks like it's poised for the upside. By the way, we did take a little profit off of MU also. Forgot to mention that. CrowdStrike still looking very, very constructive. Tried to break out and move to the upside. Sellers came in, beat it down, but still looking like it's playing within that range. If this one can kind of get out and stay out, probably have a pretty good move. Let's look at a couple other stocks. We got out of Doc In today. Cut some early in the morning and then cut some a little bit later in the afternoon. Looks like it has a pretty positive candle, even though negative on the day. But the thing about this is getting way too choppy, way too crazy. The chart doesn't really look very constructive. So we're out of that one. And then we are also out of D-Dog today also. And that just doesn't look very good either. Not to say that it can't move sideways and then kind of come back out and go up. It's just, this just looks like it might be ready to kind of maybe go all the way back down and fill the gap. I don't know. But doesn't look very good. And the intention on buying this was maybe it was going to break out and move up. It went the opposite way. And so that's some of the name of the game here is we want to cut our losers short and let our winners run is a little bit about our strategy. Let's look at SpaceX really quick. One of the hype names from last week had a pretty good IPO, but this will show you why we don't necessarily buy IPOs on the first day. This thing has been trading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days now. And, you know, if you look at, let's see if I can pull out this tool right here, this measuring tool. From where we opened to the very top, a 50% gain in 3 days. But we can also, I think, use this tool to go the opposite way. From the top down, a 32% loss off the top. We have a certain pattern that we look at for IPOs. I would say SpaceX is now starting to build out that pattern. And that pattern is typically the stock moves up. It comes down, it kind of creates a U, we call it the IPO U, and then as it turns back up, it usually presents a possible buy point for us to get in, and we are still looking at this one to kind of create that, that pattern. A lot of other stocks in the past that have been big winners, Google, Facebook, a lot of others create this type of pattern. So that's what we're looking for, and so that's what I got for you today. Take care. Have a wonderful afternoon. We'll be right back at it tomorrow.